All right, welcome to ELA. We're going to begin today with synonyms and antonyms. I bet you've heard of them before, don't you? Haven't you, rather? A synonym, the words that means the same, synonym, same. Antonyms are words that mean the opposite. We've talked about this, but it's been a while. So let's just read through here and then we'll look at some examples. A synonym is a word that means the same or almost the same as another word. An antonym is a word that is opposite in meaning to another word. To understand vocabulary, look at synonyms and antonyms of a word. Thinking about how words are the same and different can help you understand their meanings better. So here's some examples from our story. Santa Anna was furious with the Texians. He was angry that they would not obey his laws. So we have two synonyms here, don't we? Furious and angry. They mean the same thing, so they're synonyms. Santa Anna was a tyrant. He was not a kind leader who treated his people fairly. Is tyrant and kind the same? They're opposites, aren't they? So they're antonyms. So he was a tyrant. He was not kind. So we can look at the context clues of this sentence and see how it's written to see that tyrant, he was a tyrant because he was not kind. So we know a tyrant means somebody who's not kind. They're opposites. The Texians fired their cannons occasionally, as repeatedly firing their weapons would use up all their ammunition. So occasionally, repeatedly, they're antonyms, they're opposites. Occasionally means, it's one of our vocabulary words, only once in a while. Repeatedly means over and over and over and over again. So synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms mean the same. Remember S and S. Antonyms mean the opposite. Let's take a look at one more thing I want you to think about today, and that's the central idea or the main idea of a text. So the central idea is what the text is mostly about. We can find a central idea by looking for text clues. We can find headings or visuals. So in our story this week, we know that ever so often, occasionally, we'll see a heading that tells us what that page is going to be about or the next section is going to be about. We have visuals. We saw a map or a drawing of the inside of the Alamo. That helps us. There's first or last sentences often give the main idea of a text, a central idea, and repeated words. Okay. So central ideas, this table, they're built on details. So we have a central idea and then we have details that support it, just like these table legs are supporting this table and anything laying on it. We're going to work on writing some paragraphs later on where I'll give you a central idea and you have to give me some detailed sentences to go along with it. All right, so we evaluate details to determine key ideas that support the central idea. They could be examples or facts. They could be evidence or descriptions. And so I want you to work on a central idea, main idea a little bit today. So at the end of the slides, on the last slide, will be a link to get you to this game. And this is a game on main ideas, on room recess. And so depending on what kind of computer you have, you'll probably want to touch the touch screen. If you have a mouse, you can do that. I think you can do either one, actually, since you have a keypad. So anyway, probably you don't have a touch screen computer, so you need to use your mouse. Sorry. And when you click on it, you're going to be given like just 2 or 3 sentences, and you have to decide what the central idea, the main idea of that text is to play the game. So you can do that. Just make sure you go watch all the slides first. Don't jump to that. Okay. Let's talk about our vocabulary really quickly. Just review it and make sure you know what the words in the story mean. The first one is surrendered. If you surrender to the enemy, you give up. You agree that the other side won. So Mexican leader General Martin Perfecto de Cos, that's how our story starts, isn't it? He had surrendered in San Antonio. It's not how it ended for sure, but that's how it started. A rebellion. The people in Texas were rebelling. They were defying Santa Anna's authority. They were fighting for a change. They want to make Texas its own republic, its own country, which made Santa Anna furious. The next word, he was very angry that they didn't want to follow his laws because he was a tyrant, a powerful person who rules others in a cruel or unreasonable way. He was taking away their rights. Occasionally, You only do something every once in a while. Occasionally, one of the cannonballs hit the Alamo wall, and then secure. When you're in a secure area, you make it safe from attack. So remember those 6 words. You'll be working with them the rest of the week. Let me get you in the mood for one of your first things that I need you to do for me today. And that is, I want you on your own to reread our story. I want you to read The Battle of the Alamo. Remember, it starts in your reading book on page 288. If you talk to your parents and say, hey, can I read you a story about Davy Crockett and stuff you may not know? And then maybe you read your parents a story, and then you all can talk about how cool it is that Davy Crockett lived here in town. So before you